Good morning, students. This is session 1 of 7th standard social science. Geography first unit, the interior of the earth. So children, listen carefully to this session. If you have any doubt, make a note of it, which shall be clarified on the day of reopening. So in our previous session, that is in our previous videos, I have explained you about the sources of medieval history. So what are the importance of sources and how the sources helps the historian to reconstruct our past events. So today we are going to see about geography. So first we have to know why we need to study geography and what is the importance of geography. So we all know that history means it is a study of past events in chronological order. Similarly, geography is the study of people and their interaction with their surroundings. So how the people are interacting, that means how the people are consuming the natural resources that are available on the earth. So not only that, it is a scientific study of topography, climate, natural resource. We can also know the population rate, the soil types. So geography means it is the study of people and their interaction with the surroundings. So now let's get into our lesson. The Earth is the third planet from the Sun and it is the fifth largest planet in the solar system, and it is the only planet which is not named after the Greek or Roman god, and it supports life because of the presence of land, air and water. So that's why Earth is also called living planet. So all these information you would have studied in your 6th standard. And Earth is also called blue planet. So why it is referred as blue planet means 71% of the earth is covered with water. So if they ask in one word which is called the blue planet means the answer is earth. And it is also called living planet. So make a note of it. So now let's go deep inside our earth. So we know that earth is spherical in shape. So it is not truly spherical, it is called geode shape. So which you would have studied in your 6th standard. So now let's go interior of our earth. So the interior of the earth is layered in spherical shells like an onion. So when you cut an onion or when you cut an apple, you can able to see the layers. Similarly, when we take a cross section of our earth, it has different types of layers. So in this lesson, we are going to concentrate only on the different types of layers and what all the plates which causes the tectonic movements. So interior of the earth. So when we compare our earth with the structure of an apple, so when we cut an apple, we can see many layers. So see as in the picture, we can see many layers. Similarly, when you get the cross section of the earth, we can able to find the different types of layer. So first one is your crust, then mantle, then core. So let's see it one by one in detail. So on the basis of the study of earthquake waves, the spherical earth is found to be in 3 concentric layers. So as I said before, when we cut an apple or an onion, we can able to see the different types of layers. Similarly, when we take the cross section of our earth, we can see 3 main layers. So first one is the crust, second is the mantle, and finally is your core. So as you see in the picture, the crust is the outermost layer. Beneath your crust is your mantle and deep inside your earth it is your core. So we can see it one by one. So now the first layer is your crust. So the crust is the outermost layer of the earth and the thickness of it is 5 to 30 kilometers. So the crust itself has two parts. First one is your continental crust, which is your upper part. So continental crust is a place where we are living. And next is your oceanic crust. It is the lower part, and continental crust consists of granite, and the main minerals which are present in the continental crust are silica and alumina, so which is also called Sial. Silica and alumina, and the average density is 2.7 grams per centimeter cube. And the oceanic crust, it consists of basalt, and main minerals are silica and magnesium, which is also called Sima. So here it is Sial, and in oceanic crust it is Sima, and the average density is 3.0 grams per centimeter cube, and oceanic crust is more dense than your continental crust. So children, make a note of it. So oceanic crust is more denser than your continental crust. That is, it contains basalt. So basalt is more denser than your granite. And main minerals for continental crust is silica and alumina, that is Sial, and oceanic crust is silica and magnesium, that is Sima. So this may be asked in 1 word or 2 marks. Now let's recall it once again. So we have two parts of crust. One is your continental crust and second one is your oceanic crust. So continental is your upper part and oceanic is your lower part. So the rock density for continental is 2.7 grams per centimeter cube and the thickness is about 35 to 40 kilometer and the main rock type is granite. In oceanic crust it is 3.7 grams per centimeter cube and the thickness is 7 to 10 kilometers and the rock type is basalt. So I told that your oceanic crust is more denser than your continental crust. So keep this in mind. And now the next layer is mantle. So the mantle is the next layer beneath the crust and it is separated from the crust by a boundary called Mohorovic discontinuity. So the mantle and the crust are separated by a boundary called Mohorovic discontinuity. So this may be asked in 1 word. So make a note of it. And then the mantle is about 2900 kilometer thick and the mantle itself can be divided into 2 parts. So as I said before, your crust is divided into upper and lower part. So upper is continental crust in which we are living and lower crust is your oceanic crust. Similarly, the mantle also is divided into 2 parts. One is your upper mantle with density of about 3.4 to 4.4 grams per centimeter cube and it extends down to 700 kilometer. And then the lower mantle is having the density of about 4.4 to 5.5 grams per centimeter cube and it extends from 700 to 2900 kilometer. So in this we have to keep in mind that the crust and the mantle is separated by a boundary called Mohorovic discontinuity and the mantle is beneath your crust. So now let's move on to next slide. So this is a pictorial representation. Your crust is your uppermost part and beneath your crust is your mantle and these two layers are separated by a boundary. So this boundary is called Mohorovic discontinuity. Next, the crust and the mantle, that is the earth crust, that is the outer surface plus your upper mantle constitute the lithosphere. So lithosphere means sphere of rocks. So the earth crust as well as your upper mantle constitute the lithosphere. So lithosphere means sphere of rocks. So the distance is 0 to 100 kilometers. So now let's move on to next slide. So next layer is, so beneath your mantle it is core. So core is the innermost layer of your earth. So let's see some more details. So the innermost layer of the earth is called core. So core is also called barysphere. So this may be asked. Another name for core is barysphere. So it is separated from the mantle by a boundary called Weikart-Gutenberg discontinuity. So the core and the mantle is separated by the boundary called Weikart-Gutenberg discontinuity. Whereas your mantle and the crust is separated by a boundary called Mohorovic discontinuity. So don't confuse it. And the core is divided into 2 parts. First one is your upper part. So upper part is rich in iron and it is in liquid state. The distance is from 2900 to 5150 kilometer. And then the inner core is composed of nickel and ferrous, so which is also called Nephi, and it is in a solid state. So outer core is in liquid state and inner core is in solid state. It is comprised of nickel and ferrous. So the central core, that is the central part of the earth, it will be having very high temperature and pressure. So the central core has very high temperature and pressure. So it extends from 5150 kilometer to 6370 kilometer. And the average density of the core is 13.0 grams per centimeter cube. So what you have to keep in mind means The mantle and the core is separated by a boundary called Weikart-Gutenberg discontinuity. So we have two parts. One is the outer core and another one is your inner core. So outer core is in liquid state and inner core is in solid state, that is composed of nickel and ferrous. So now look at this picture. So this is your inner core. So inner core is in solid state composed of nickel and ferrous. So that is Fe. And this is your outer core. So outer core will be in liquid state and it is rich in iron. So now let's move on to next slide. So the crust forms only 1% of the volume of the earth. So the crust volume is only 1%, remaining 84% is consists of mantle and 15% is core. So among the volume, 1% is crust, 84% is mantle and 15% is core. So in this, crust is the outermost layer in which we are living. So the radius of the earth is 6371 kilometer. So the radius of the earth is 6371 kilometer. So now let's recall it once again. Inside our earth. So the earth is our homeland and it is a dynamic planet and it is constantly undergoing changes inside the earth as well as outside the earth. So these are the changes which comes inside. And then these are the changes which are caused on the outside of the earth. So children, have you ever wondered what lies interior of the earth? Or what is the earth is made up of? So now let's see it. So interior of the earth, which is our first unit in geography. So just like an onion, the earth is made up of several concentric layers with one layer inside the another. And the uppermost layer, so the uppermost layer is called the crust. And it is the thinnest of all the layers. So it is about 35 kilometer, only 35 kilometer on the continental masses. So it is thinnest layer, about 35 kilometer on the continental masses and 5 kilometers on the ocean floors. So the main mineral constituents are silica and alumina. So it is thus referred to as Sial. So where C is called silica and Al is called alumina. Now let's see about oceanic crust. Main mineral is silica and magnesium. So it is therefore referred to as Sima. So where C is called silica and Ma is called magnesium. Just beneath the crust is the mantle, which extends up to the depth of 2900 km below the crust. Then the innermost layer is the core with the radius of about 3500 km. So core is the innermost layer. It is composed of nickel and iron. So iron is also called ferrous. So it is called as Fe, where Ni is called nickel and Fe is called ferrous or iron. The central core has very high temperature and pressure. So children, I hope you understood these three layers. Now let's see about the earth movements. So we know that the earth's surface is made up of many lithospheric plates. So these plates will be constantly moving, so which results in the formation of landforms, different types of landforms or the volcanic mountains. So the lithosphere means sphere of rocks. So it is broken into number of plates and these plates are called lithospheric plates. So it will be constantly moving, which results in the formation of different types of landforms. like mountains, plateaus, plains, valleys, and this type of movement of earth lithospheric plates is termed as tectonic movements. So children, the movement of earth's lithospheric plates is called tectonic movements. So it may be asked in 2 marks. So make a note of it. So now let's see about the asthenosphere. So asthenosphere is a part of upper mantle and it is located below the crust of the earth. So here we can see the upper mantle is called the asthenosphere. So it is located below the earth crust. So now let's see some more details. So below the lithosphere is a layer that is hotter and under increasing pressure. So like road tar is softened by the heat of the sun, this part of the mantle is somewhat soft. It can be bent like a plastic. So this soft layer of the mantle is called asthenosphere. So in Greek, asthenes means weak. So because of the heat, it can bend like a plastic. So it is called asthenosphere. It is derived from a Greek word called asthenes. Asthenes means weak. Although this layer is softer than the rest of the mantle, it is still solid. So even though it is softer, it is solid. So asthenosphere means it is nothing but the upper mantle is called asthenosphere. So I hope you are clear with this. So now the temperature of the asthenosphere is normally between 1400 degrees Celsius and 3000 degrees Celsius. So the temperature will be between the range of 1400 to 3000 degrees Celsius. So it is, to make it simple, asthenosphere is your upper mantle. So it is very soft. It can bend like a plastic, but it is solid in nature. So children, these are the tectonic plates. So this is lithosphere. Lithosphere is your upper layer. So that is the sphere of rocks. So below that, what I told, below the crust, it is mantle. So the upper mantle is called asthenosphere. So now these plates will be constantly moving. So it will move in different directions at different speed. So at places, these plates move away from each other. So in some places, the plates will move away from each other, that will create a wide rift on the earth's surface, and some places these plates will come closer and collide. So in some places it will go far away and at some places it will come closer. So when an oceanic plate collides, so that is when an oceanic plate collides with the continental plate, the denser oceanic plate, so as I told before, the oceanic plate is very denser because of the basalt. So the rock type is basalt. So the denser oceanic plate is forced below the continental plate. So what happened, as a result of pressure from the rocks, it eats up and melt. So the molten rocks rise again, forming the volcanic mountains. So alternatively, when the two plates converge, when the two continental plates converge, so what happened, it creates many folds. So this is how the great mountain like Himalayas are formed. So I hope you are clear with how the tectonic plates are moved. So at one place they will go far away, at some place they will come closer. So this results in different types of landforms. So the movement of these lithospheric plates may cause changes on the surface of the earth. So as I told, because of the movement of the lithospheric plates, that movement is called tectonic movements. It may result in different types of landforms like mountains, volcanoes, plateaus. So these kinds of landforms are formed by the tectonic movements. So the earth movements are divided on the basis of forces which cause them. So based on the force, the earth movements are classified. So first one is endogenic force. When the force acts in the interior of the earth, then it is called endogenic. When the force acts on the surface of the earth, then it is called exogenic. That is, the changes which are caused within the earth because of the force are called endogenic, and the force that work on the surface of the earth is called exogenic. So I hope you are clear with this. So now let's recall the earth movements once again. So this is the world map. Every dot represents the recent volcanic eruptions. So scientists started to see the patterns in where earthquakes occur. They were able to discover the existence of tectonic plates covering the earth. It turned out that earthquakes and the volcanoes are happening all the times at the edges of the tectonic plates. So there are about 7 larger tectonic plates and many smaller ones. They are diverging, converging or moving in opposite direction. However, the movement of the tectonic plates has major consequence on the surface. So on places where the plates converge, mountains and volcanoes are formed. So Himalayas are formed in this way only when two plates push into each other. So first remember there are two types of tectonic plates. So one is your oceanic plates which are very dense and heavy, forming the ocean floor. So they are thin, only few kilometers thick, that is up to 10 kilometer thick. Continental plates are very thick but they are lighter. So when continental plates collide with an oceanic plate, the continental plate stays on the top while the oceanic plate dives underneath the earth and melts back into magma. So this called subduction zone. So earthquakes and volcanoes are commonly found here. The Andes in Chile are created in this way. At the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, plates actually move away from each other. The magma rises into the seawater and solidifies. So this creates underwater mountains called mid-oceanic ridge. So now let's see the mind map of this session. So today we have seen about the interior of the earth. So the earth's surface is divided into three concentric layers. So first one is your crust, which is your outermost layer. It has two parts, namely the continental crust and the oceanic crust. So continental crust is the upper part, oceanic is the lower part. And then the continental crust composed of main minerals like silica and alumina, so it is also called Sial, and oceanic is silica and magnesium, which is also called Sima. So the crust and the mantle is separated by a boundary called Mohorovic discontinuity. So mantle has upper mantle and lower mantle. So upper mantle is also called asthenosphere. And then the innermost layer is your core, which is also called barysphere. So it has two parts, outer core and inner core. So outer core is rich in iron and it is present in liquid state, and inner core is rich in nickel and ferrous, that is Nephe. It is present in solid state. So this mantle and core is separated by a boundary called Weikart-Gutenberg discontinuity. Then we have seen about the earth movements. So the earth's surface is made up of many lithospheric plates which keeps on moving because of the forces called exogenic and endogenic. So exogenic means exterior to the earth's surface, endo means interior to the earth's surface. So because of the earth movements, the different types of landforms are formed, like your mountains. As I told, when two continental plates collide means when they come to each other, they forms a faulted folds. So this results in the formation of mountains. So this type of movement is called tectonic movements. So I hope you are clear with this session. So now let's see the textbook pages. So children, so this is page number 155. Your first unit in geography is interior of the earth. So this is the introduction part, and then I've told about the three concentric layers, crust, mantle and core. Then the crust as two part, continental crust and oceanic crust. And then this is earth is called blue planet because 71% is covered with water. So then I have told about Sial. So now this is page number 156. So here I have told about Sima. Sima means silica and magnesium. Silica and magnesium. And then I have told about the mantle. So mantle is the layer beneath your earth crust. So mantle and the earth crust is separated by a boundary called Mohorovic discontinuity. So we have two parts, upper mantle and next is your lower mantle. And then I have told about the core. So core is the innermost layer of the earth. It is also called barysphere. So core and mantle is separated by a boundary called Weikart-Gutenberg discontinuity. So this also I told, outer core rich in iron found in liquid state, and then inner core, it is composed of nickel and ferrous, which is called Nephe, it is in solid state, and central core has very high temperature and pressure. So next I have told about the crust forms only 1% of the volume of the earth, remaining 84% is mantle and 15% is core, and radius of the earth is 6371 kilometer. Then I have explained you about the earth movement. So it has many lithospheric plates and the movement is called tectonic movements. So this results in the formation of different landforms like mountains. So the great Himalayas are formed in such ways. So I told at some places the plates will come closer and collide, and at other places they will go far away. So they will move away from each other. So this results in the formation of different types of landforms. So children, I hope you understood this session. So now let's see some evaluation questions. So if you have any doubt, you can go through the session once again. So these are the evaluation questions. First one is, the core is also known as, the crust and mantle is separated by a boundary called, the mantle and core is separated by a boundary called, the movement of the lithospheric plates is also known as, and define asthenosphere. So now answer all these questions in a notebook which you are maintaining for social science. So children, in our next session, we can see about the earthquake and its effects and different types of volcanoes. Thank you.